daisy chains and sweet champagne, and 2 days alone with you. Not too far from the city by car, or maybe we can make a more romantic trip by train to the country. It's where I want to be with you for the week.
Well, hello everyone. Today is Saturday. Let's see, the 17th or 18th? It's September, I don't know, 17th or 18th, Saturday. And I'm out here getting prepared for my next project. And because I've had so many of you, you guys have known that I've been working or going to do this project for some time, and so many of you have said, hey, please do videos, even though I'm not doing a whole lot of videos on other stuff. I figured I would take you along and show you the construction of the brick pizza, the pizza oven, brick oven, grill, smoker that I'm, come on, cut open. And so this is a big project. I'm trying to open this. I should have done this before I started, but because I haven't even looked here. There we go. And well, this is going to be a first project for me. I've never done this before. I've done some other masonry type. I've done some tile work and stuff, but this is going to be the first of these. And to be quite honest, I've done my education of what's going on via some other YouTube channels and the way they've done it. So we're getting ready to get started. This is going to be a 3 major phase project. There's 3 different levels we're going to have to get into, but we're at the beginning of it. Kind of already gave you, well, I may not have ever posted it now that I think about it. Oh, shucks. Anyway, let's just start from fresh and let's go over what we've got for materials here. I'm not even sure I've got enough of everything. Cross your fingers. I can't do it with those. Let's see. Cross your fingers for me, and that I've gotten enough to at least get a good start on this thing. And let's talk through it so that if any of you are interested in doing this, you'll have a clue and a concept of some of the things you'll need to deal with. So let me flip you around here. There we go. So let's start with the beginning. T and I, way earlier this spring, we poured ourselves a pad of concrete for this to go on, and there was about a dozen or so bags of concrete. We had a lot of rock from our rock pile down there that we filled in, okay, to kind of thicken it up and give it a good broad base. So it's pretty good. I don't think it's going to have any issues supporting the weight that we've got. I've collected a bunch of, I got some more over there and some others, older used blocks and stuff that we're going to use for structural. Some of you've seen, some of you haven't seen. I've gotten a pretty sizable load of brick. I hope. So I got 5.5 layers. I hope that's enough to go 1, 2, 3, 4 ish, and then the top of the oven. We'll have to see how that goes. It's going to use up a lot of brick doing this, and I'm going to do them on edge so that I can get the best surface area. Plus, I kind of want to highlight, these are some antique block or brick from, you can see it on this one. Maybe you can see it on here. A, B, and T. I'm not sure what A was for, but I think it's something brick and tile out of Little Rock. And these are almost or around about 100 years old. They came from a building that was built a long, long time ago and then has been torn down. And no, the live trap is not a part of the project, so we'll set it over here for the moment. I'm going to recycle these cast iron grill plates. I've got 3 of them, and they came out of a barbecue grill, and those are very, very good quality cast iron ones. And something went wrong with the grill, so somebody got rid of it, and I saw it on the side of the road, and I said, can I just take those? And he said, get it out of here, and I did. There you go. So I've got some grills that are going to go on the grill side of it, grill grates, whatever you want to call them. And over here, what I was fumbling with is my fire brick. So I've got each one of these boxes contain 25 fire brick, and I've got 5 of them, and they weren't too bad a cost. They were only 20 something bucks each. I've got a bunch of bags of sand. How many do I have there? 7 bags of sand, and that will be mixed with the Portland cement. And these 2 buckets were another bag, but the bag ripped, so we poured them into some of our buckets so they'd stay dry. And then we also have, I've gotten three of these bags of perlite to mix with the mortar mix, the sand and the Portland, for doing insulative mortar around the block and stuff. So we've got a concrete pad to start with. We got our block is going to be the exterior, and a buddy of mine's got some really nice earthy tile. I may do the top of the concrete deck or bench or whatever you want to call it. This big slab I'm going to do up top may cover it in tile just for the looks. We'll see how that goes. He's got a lot of it. And so we got sand, we got mortar, we got a whole lot of that fire brick. We got some red brick, building brick, and that's going to look gorgeous. And way up there is a pallet full of bags of concrete, and I got a pretty good amount of that. I needed some of that for the woodshed back there, and I know I'm gonna need some here, and then the rest, whatever is left over, will go for our root cellar. So these are the items I have here. Like I said, I've dug up out of a mess that was on the side of the road somewhere a bunch of cinder blocks that are they're used, and then I've got a few more over there, and then I got some other cinder block where I put them. I've also got some that I have at my step out here. If I need to, I can use them. All right, I've set up a workstation. I've got a bunch of cedar strips that I'm going to rip down into basically 1x1s. I've got a whole bunch of this blackjack oak. It's not really great for finish work or anything because it splits and cracks a heck of a lot, but it's going to be some good construction material. You can see I've gone ahead and planed this down, but as soon as it dries, it starts splitting and stuff. It'd look really pretty if it didn't. I mean, there's some very nice looking green in it, but this is going to be construction wood. And go back over here, this pile of cedar that I didn't mention, those are all my scrap pieces, and a whole lot of 1x. So I'm going to use this cedar and these scrap pieces because they are something that will handle the moisture and weather very well. So what I'm going to be doing is essentially, like I said, 3 phases. So let's talk about the first phase. The first phase is to build basically a wood box arched structure here, and then to build another kind of batterboard interior frame structure here that will support a basically open box area for the grills to sit across the top of them for my grill. And this wood is going to be very, very challenging to build and put together, because when I'm done, all of it needs to be disassembled and pulled out, so all I have is concrete on the inside of my wood storage area. Over here, this whole area is going to be supporting the concrete and the brick and all that, and it's actually going to stay inside, so I'm actually going to block it, concrete it, and close it in. So I'm going to have to make sure that I have something that's isn't going to rot away all that quickly. Not that I'm concerned about it staying there for structural purposes, but I want something that you know, one, isn't going to attract insects, because the oak, if there's anywhere that there's a hole and moisture, somehow or another bugs may find their way in, and I don't want all that in there. So I'm going to do the cedar, and maybe it eventually rots, but I'm hoping that eventually I get some kind of roof or cover over this so it does not get exposed to moisture. So first stage is to build 2 sets of framing, and they're interior framing. One that's going to be kind of, I almost want to say chair-like, where you got like an armrest back and an armrest and then a seat, and that's where the firebox is going to go. The other is going to be an archway. It's going to have a back on it, and then a side, and then over and down. And then once I get these done, my first level of block laying is going to be basically to build the exterior walls of the whole thing all the way around, and fill in the middle where these older used cinder blocks are going to go to support the interior side of it. This thing's going to be pretty strong, because once the first phase is done, I tear apart what I have to in the way of batter boards and framing, and then I'll have to build the outer section up for basically another concrete slab platform ish that is going to have an opening here in this area for the grill area, and then I'm going to have some kind of flue that goes from the firebox up through the upper concrete platform and into the dome that will be the ovens, the pizza oven, bread oven section. So I'll be able to have a fire in that and a fire in here. So if I want to smoke something, I close this up and let the smoke go up into this cavity, smoke it up, and then up through the flue, and be able to smoke meats and such like that. So I've done a lot of research. I think I got most everything sorted out in my head, not 100%, but this portion I can just screw it together and not think about it. This section I have to screw it together in a way that I can back out the screws and crawl up in here and take it apart and not have it stick. So that's why the blackjack I've got in there, I've planed it down so that I can get a somewhat finished surface on the inside. When you look in there, that it's you know, somewhat neat and finished looking, and the concrete doesn't bond to the rough surface, because you have, like here on this cedar, this is been planed down, so it's nice and smooth, but this is still sawmill rough cut, like here and here. Well, hello there, Mittens. You gonna say hi? So the concrete is more likely to want to bind to this porous rough surface, and I want to be able to pull everything out of that firewood cavity and have it you know, fairly neat and clean looking. You gonna give me another scritches? You like to roll over and say, pet me. Goodness. So, I guess what I'm probably going to do, I've gone over everything. You've seen all the materials. I can't say for definite how much I'm going to need on every part of it. It'll just kind of go as we go. And in the end, we'll look and see whether I needed to go get more or something or not. We'll figure it out. I don't know. But for me, I got to take it one step at a time. I've seen these types of projects done before, and I know what I have ahead of me. But like I said, this is going to be the first time that I've ever done this. So what I'm going to do is same as I do with most of my projects. Explain to you what I've got, materials. Walk you through the thinking on how to go about it, and then give you the comprehension of the tasks that are necessary but not necessarily. I'll show you, but what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and build these frameworks, and I want to get that done, and then before I start laying concrete and block, I will show you the interior supports and you know what I came up with, so that you can think through that in case you want to do it yourself. So we'll jump back with you at that point. All right, quick little update on where we're at. Look down here, honey. All right, so dimensions wise, our concrete slab is 4 foot, stay with me, honey, 4 foot wide by 8 foot long, okay? Now what I'm determining, all right, so what I'm determining is where my walls are going to be, okay? So there's going to be an outside wall here, and an outside wall here. We got an internal wall here. I'm not done filling it. These old blocks that I found are going to be fillers, but this is going to be a solid wall, and the outside wall there and here, and then this is going to be open right here. So there's going to be a bit of a platform and an arch here between these two sidewalls, so that I can put my wood in. This is my wood box to store in. I've gotten the 6, I think. I may get some of those 2-inch blocks. I got some 2-inch blocks sitting over there to bring up the level. All right, so my goal for the first phase here is to get 36 inches, which is about here, which means I need more fill. So I'm gonna build an arch. I'm gonna build an arch from this line to that line with my wood. And it's gonna be a wall, comes up, angles over, goes over, angles down, and comes down. You'll see that here in a bit. And then I'm gonna get a couple inches of concrete. I got a couple inches of concrete in between here and on this side, because this is gonna be one solid concrete wall here to the base. And then we're gonna end up doing a concrete, about 1.5 inches or so of concrete on top of this arch, the wooden arch that I'm gonna have to disassemble and pull out of here, because all I want in here is the concrete walls. And the second phase of this will be the platform, and we'll have to batter board this whole thing and frame it up to pour that level, but that's the second level. So for the first level is I've got to build this cavity here in such a way that I can disassemble it. Now on this side, oops, get my shoe back on. On this side, this is going to be the grill box right here. So if you look over here, I've measured out these grills. They're 17 by 24.5. So what I need is I got 23 by 16. Which means once I build my wooden frame in here, I'm going to have concrete come down around the edges of it and on top of it, and I'm going to level out a platform. And I'm not 100% sure of what that bottom is. If my top is going to be at 36, which is right here, I'll try and I probably need to bring it up a bit. Probably need to bring it up another layer of blocks, I think, to get it up here, because you don't need that deep. Maybe. Oh, let me think through that a bit. Because if I bring it up a couple inches with concrete, and then I got my internal framing to essentially hold the concrete. All of the walls, the exterior walls around here are going to be these really neat old bricks. And then we're going to brick lay them right on the edge like that. And this back side is we're going to infill this back all the way up. So there's going to be brick on the face and then infill on the back once we get our batter boards built. We're going to infill it with just some concrete mix out of them bags that we got up there. So it went from nice and cool to, oh my goodness, hot.
Yes.
Where are we at time-wise?
4:38.
All right, good enough for this segment. We'll be back in a bit. All right, so it is the next day, and we had visitors yesterday afternoon, so that kind of distracted. Stand under the shade, honey. It's getting hot. We're going to have this hot week. And so we almost didn't do nothing. We shouldn't have done anything because we're going to...
Stupid.
I understand our friends back in California, our friends Lynette and Rainey.
Hill Life?
Yeah, I know. They got mean. They got mean. They sent the dang heat over here. They said they're done with the heat. They were sending it over here just for our enjoyment. So, yes. Lynette, Rainey, thank you. We got 96, 97.
Almost 100-degree weather again.
For the next couple of 2 or 3 days before. Anyway, haha, jab, jab, poke, poke.
Yeah.
We're out here working on the framing of the batter boards and the stuff that we're going to have. So you're starting to see it. Okay, I need to probably get a few more of these guys right here to fill in. Okay, but this is the framing, and I want you to make some observations here. So first off, I hate this blackjack oak because as soon as the sun hits it and it dries out, it starts splitting like crazy right here. And look at it. It just so we put the canopy up here. And so we're trying to build the inside frame here, and T and I've been working on this for a couple hours here. We had some errands to run this morning, got back, and we almost said screw it for the whole day. And honey, are we ever gonna take a day off?
No.
No.
Unless we got somebody that will watch stuff, and then yeah, we could take a day off.
Yeah. So not happening.
Yeah.
So this side is specifically a challenge because, good God, look at all that splitting. All that splitting in the wood.
Yeah.
This blackjack oak sucks. Good for burning, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And, ooh, you can't see. There you go. Anyway, so here's the mid. So there's that 4-inch exterior, and you can see the line in it running all the way around. This will be the mid wall where these 4-inch blocks are at. Like I said, I probably need to get some more to fill this up. So I want a solid 8-inch wall in the middle. And we're this far with our framing. Who's that?
I'm just letting a friend know that our package will be here too.
Oh, okay, okay. So we got stuff on order. All right, so we're not done yet. Kind of hard to see. All right, these boards right here are going to go across the top. So there's boards that are going to go all the way around this thing, okay? Because the upper deck's going to go up here. And then I got to run the walls up. The same thing's going to happen. Whoops.
Purple.
There's a rock there.
There's a rock.
There's a rock there. The same thing's going to happen here. All around the inside here to fill this void. So that I essentially have framing. Framing up and around this. I'm not sure about this. We're going to make some adjustments on this for sure. So I got to finish building this, and it's all the notes I want you to make are that if you do this, you're going to do it in such a way that you're not screwing anything in from the side the concrete's going on. I've got these little strips I showed you that I made, these little 1-inch strips, and that way when it comes time and the concrete's poured all over this, and this is on the inside, I can come in here after it's hardened and take out all the screws and then pull all the boards away from the inside and just leave the concrete where it is. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Long hot day.
Very.
We've only been at this for about 2.5 hours, maybe, or 2 hours, something like that, to just get this done. And we're not done with this yet.
It takes a lot of measuring, cutting.
Exactly. Fine tuning, cutting, measuring, fine tuning, cutting.
Going, oh, I told you wrong.
Uh-huh.
You were right.
You were right. Yeah, you were right. And so this is the update for the moment. This is what we're doing. We're going to cover this here. This lighting sucks with the sun and the shade. We got to cover this, and this needs to come over that way. We just replaced this because this height was off, and I needed to fix this. So we're going to have a lighting board come up and board go over. And that's just a kicker, that little cedar and that little cedar right there. They're just kickers to hold it from coming in once the weight of the concrete is on it. It shouldn't be too bad. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get the lighting on here right. I'm going to start running my courses of bricks through here, and then we'll backfill with concrete, run some more courses of brick, backfill with the concrete, and then when we do, we're going to like agitate the heck out of it so it sits flush and it fills all the cracks and voids, and hopefully doesn't get up in these cracks too bad and hold the boards in. That's what I was concerned about.
We can tape it like what we talked about.
Yeah, I know. We could do that. We even talked about wrapping it with some
House wrap.
Not that, well, the house wrap, or I was thinking shrink wrap, because we got
quite a few bits.
We got some rolls of shrink wrap that we use to wrap up our meat. It's kind of like saran, but saran wrap sucks. So you buy essentially
the shrink wrap. What industrial stuff that I use.
All right, so that's it for this update. Oh my goodness, there's a gap in that board. Oh no.
Well, if we wrap it, then we won't matter.
Yeah, we might just do that. Shrink wrap this damn thing. That's a damn good idea. We're gonna. All right, that's it for this moment in time. And yeah, 'cause look at these gaps. This stuff is not pretty. All right, it's batter boards. It's chicken coop.
It's just a batter board.
It's just a batter board. All right, we're out of here. We'll catch you on the next up.